Kia ora, Vanakkam, Vandanam, Namaste, Namaskaram. Good evening to everyone. I hope that you're all like keeping well and doing well. I'm not sure about what the weather in Christchurch is like. It's been amazingly great weather in Melbourne for the last 2 days. I am your trendy Thalaiva Selva here, meeting you again on a Wednesday evening, 6 p.m. New Zealand time, wanting to share some thoughts around like what I've been up to, wanting to come back and then share some new information and what's trending today in the world, and generally like share my thoughts. It's been like an amazing week so far, and thank you for those who took the time to send us some sort of like feedback around like what you would like to see in this show and want to kind of like hear from us, particularly with me. I heard some great feedback that the show has been like useful to some of you, wherein like I'm bringing some lot of information. But then I also understand that it has been like just one way talk. Like I'm just trying to provide some information that I know and some research information that I have been like wanting to share with you. But people do feel that the show should be like more lively, where I also bring in some sort of like the component from my personal life to it. So thank you for being so constructive and sharing your thoughts with us, folks. From this week onwards, I'm gonna try a new thing, like where I'm gonna talk more about like my personalized way of approaching things, my personalized way of like how I see what's happening around me and those trend, rather than just picking up like one topic and talking about it. Let's see how this goes. Let's see whether you are enjoying the information that I'm sharing. Let's see that is there something that in terms of like value you find it useful, or like if you want me to sort of like do some more, we can probably like segregate the show into like different components, wherein like one part of show I do some sort of like new information sharing, and the other part of show where I talk about like personal instances and life experiences and things that are happening around me. um, let's see how it goes. I'm happy to like again take more feedback from all of you. Here I am, Trendy Thalaiva Selva, with you on India Live, where colors come live. And Yeah, this is the first show where I am gonna do without any content prepared for it. In case if I'm like kind of like trying to ponder like what I wanted to talk and take a pause, please do understand that that's because I don't have like any set content prepared for the show. But I think that we would still want to keep in the Thirukural that I've been like sharing with all of you on a weekly basis, because I did receive a couple of people saying that that has been like really useful and they're trying to learn something new. So as usual, for the week, let's actually take up a Thirukural and I'll share the Kural verse and I'll also share the meaning of that Kural. So today's Thirukural is about like being thankful and grateful. So the Kural is in the chapter where we speak about like people offering help and how that is received and perceived. So the Kural goes like this. Um, "Ennandri எந்நன்றி கொண்டார்க்கும் ஓய்வுண்டாம் ஓய்வில்லை செய் நன்றி கொன்ற மகற்கு." Uh, that means that anyone anyone can be appreciated in their ways, but if somebody forgets a help that was offered to them when they were in need and at the time of like where they actually needed someone to be helping them, and if they forget that help after a period of time, then they are not being excused or like forgiven. So for example, let's say that I have been like struggling in some phase of my life and a friend of mine actually helped me out during that phase. um, I am obliged to be able to be paying back my friend at the time when they are in need, or like I need to be like thankful and grateful for the help they did. In case if I'm not, then I'm not a great person at all. So we always need to remember and recollect the help people offered us at the time when we are in need. So that's what the Tirukural says. So ennandri kondarkum undam we villai sai nandri kondramagarku. One of my favorite Tirukural. I just fluttered when I started it because a lot of thoughts are like running around in my mind, and I'd like to share the reason why. It's not because that I've not prepared the content for the show, but it's also because of some personal things that are happening in my life, folks. You all know that I recently moved from Christchurch to Melbourne for my job, but I have decided to quit my job. हाँ, मैंने अपने नौकरी से इस्तीफ़ा दे दिया, और अभी मैं अपने नोटिस पीरियड पे हूँ, विच ऑल्सो मीन्स दैट अभी मुझे पता नहीं है कि हाउ लॉन्ग आई विल बी इन मेलबर्न। मैं शायद न्यूजीलैंड वापस आना चाहूँगा। वाई? बिकॉज आई हैव माई फ्रेंड्स एंड सॉर्ट ऑफ लाइक क्लोज्ड नेटवर्क देयर, एंड ऑफ कोर्स यू ऑल आर देयर इन न्यूजीलैंड। तो मैं वापस आके फिर उसके बाद वहाँ से नौकरी ढूंढने की कोशिश करूँगा, क्योंकि मेरे पास अभी यहाँ पे नौकरी नहीं है तो वीज़ा भी नहीं होगा। अभी 1 महीने नहीं, 2 महीने तक मेरे पास टाइम है। अगर मैं यहाँ रहना चाहूँगा तो आई कैन बी हियर एंड लुक फॉर अ न्यू जॉब, बट मेरे पास अभी उतना वक़्त नहीं है, क्योंकि अभी मार्केट फिलहाल डाउन है। देयर इज़ लाइक अ लॉट ऑफ demand in the job market, and there are like less roles that are being available because of the global recession. आप लोगों को तो पता ही होगा कि economically like it's becoming harder to live. The cost of living has gone up, inflation has gone up, the rates of interest have gone up, which all have been like choking the world economy. अब रीज़न ये भी है कि अभी दुनिया में बहुत सारे जगह पे वॉर चल रहा है। रशिया इज फाइटिंग यूक्रेन, एंड लास्ट वीक आप लोगों को तो पता ही होगा कि इजराइल गाजा के इश्यू भी एस्केलेट होके वॉर के रूप पे निकल के आ रहा है। एंड कोविड के बाद थोड़ा सप्लाई चेन का भी डिस्ट्रप्शन था, एंड बिकॉज ऑफ ऑल ऑफ दिस the recession has been like becoming bigger and bigger in the last few quarters. Ideally it is not a great time to leave the job, पर मुझे लगता है कि जब आप अपने नौकरी या मतलब आप जो भी कर रहे हो उसमें आपको खुशी नहीं मिलती है तो उसको करने से कोई फायदा नहीं है। I might set a wrong example here, but that's what who I am. मुझे मेरी नौकरी से खुशी नहीं आ रही थी, और at the end of every day like I've been like feeling कि यार मैं क्या कर रहा हूँ पता नहीं है। तो I had to take a call, and I took the call and I submitted my resignation a couple of days back, which means that I'm in my notice period technically, and thankfully मेरे employer ने ये भी कहा कि मैं अपने last few days of नौकरी न्यूजीलैंड से कर सकता हूँ। तो maybe the next show I'll be doing it from New Zealand, and we will be in the same time zone. But I need to tell you a bit about Melbourne, right? Before I leave Melbourne. So Melbourne has been like great in terms of like the weather. The day I arrived, apparently, मतलब सूरज उगल के आया, और every place was like sunny and warm and nice, and winters have gone. Everybody was enjoying spring. As I said that I was here during the AFL finals. What a great vibe, man. देखने के लायक था। हर जगह पे लोग ही दिख रहे थे। People were celebrating, drinking. We had a public holiday as well. And then I also actually last week मैंने क्या किया, Saturday रात को I took a cruise. So basically there is a group called Stepping Out Events, and they organize this cruise, and it is actually called as a cruise for anyone who is single above 40s. So it's an opportunity to meet new people, mingle with singles, and make new friends. And you never know, like if it happens, like you can actually progress and turn that into a relationship. And I was in that cruise, and unfortunately for me, that cruise had like most of the people, and particularly the ladies who were there, were like above 60. And I couldn't probably like make connection because there's like a huge age gap. Like I was just 40, right, and they're 60. But it was like really fun to literally watch most of them for 4 hours, actually in a cruise that's going on a river with loud music as well as a DJ dance floor. And people were enjoying themselves. Like there was like great food, and the drinks on offer. लोग मतलब अपने ही तरह खुशी मना रहे थे. कुछ लोग नाच रहे थे, कुछ लोग पी रहे थे, कुछ लोग गा भी रहे थे. And I did see that some of them were able to find some sort of like friendship slash relationship vibe between themselves. And after the night they probably would have exchanged contacts and would have met as well. So it was a new experience for me. I've never been on a cruise like that. For that matter, like I've never been to a kind of like a single sort of like event. So I thought I'll give it a shot, and that was a good experience for me. It was like a change of mood as well for me. Like as I said, that मैं अपने नौकरी से इस्तीफा दे दिया, अभी पता नहीं मेरे पास और नौकरी नहीं है, अब मैं जाके क्या करूँगा ये भी पता नहीं है. बट आई ऑलवेज लाइक बिलीव इन पॉजिटिविटी. अगर आपके पास टैलेंट है, स्किल्स है, एंड कुछ भी करने का कॉन्फिडेंस है, तो आप जाके अपने लिए कहीं ना कहीं कुछ ना कुछ ढूंढ के निकालोगे. और ये मेरा बिलीफ है. तो इसलिए मैं अभी इस्तीफा दे दिया, एंड आई एम ऑन माई नोटिस पीरियड. एंड आई कांट टेल यू हाउ हैप्पी आई फील. फॉर द लास्ट फ्यू वीक्स ये मेरे मेरे ऊपर एक्चुअली एक बोझ की तरफ बैठ रहा था. एंड हर शाम को मैं अपने ऑफिस से वापस जाके यही सोचता और रहता हूँ कि मतलब मैं क्यों कर रहा हूँ ये, है ना. अगर ये नहीं है तो मेरा क्या होगा. क्यों क्यों मतलब मैं अपने आप को इस तरह का एक अनहेल्दी स्लैश अनहैप्पी सिचुएशन में डाल रहा हूँ. But then I had to take a call, and I can't stay in this forever. And I want to have that sort of like mental peace as well as like time for myself. तो yeah, मैं जॉब छोड़ दिया. एंड अभी मैं ये आप लोगों से शेयर करना इसलिए चाहता हूँ कि because I've been like with you, traveling with you for the last 6 weeks now. And it has been like great pleasure to meet you all through this show and to all get to know all of you. And maybe शायद next week मैं जब Christchurch वापस आ जाऊंगा तो हम लोग कहीं ना कहीं मतलब एक दूसरे को आमने सामने मिल भी सकते हैं. And as usual, like thank you for taking time to send us that feedback कि इस show को थोड़ा और like lively बनाया जाए, instead of like just sharing information. You all wanted to know more about like the things that are happening around me, and want to hear about all of those things. So yeah, Melbourne में फिर 2-3 दिन बारिश हुआ. When it is raining, it is so stinky here, in terms of like stinky in sense like not the smell wise, but the weather goes like really really bad. It's overcast and cold, and the cold is like really piercing. और मैं एक साउथ इंडियन बंदा हूँ जिन्होंने मतलब चेन्नई जैसे जगह से आया है. 40 डिग्री टेम्परेचर मेरे लिए बहुत अच्छा लगता है. तो मुझे 14 डिग्री 13 डिग्री टेम्परेचर में डालेंगे तो मतलब मेरे को खराब लगेगा ही लगेगा, राइट. सो आई स्टार्टेड टू फील लाइक नॉट सो ग्रेट ड्यूरिंग दोस ओवरकास्ट डेज. एंड जब मतलब आप अपनी नौकरी से भी खुश नहीं हो तो आपको तो लाइक और लगेगा कि आप मतलब आप क्या स्थिति में बैठे हो, क्यों बैठे हो टाइप्स. पर नाउ इट्स बिकम sunny last 2 days, and yesterday was my birthday. Happy birthday to me. And I actually live with an old lady here, in her house. And she was really a kind and nice person, right? So she got to know that like I'm new to Melbourne, I've not got like many friends here. So what she did was like really in the morning she got me a cake, and she got me a greeting card and also a dress for myself as a gift. which I didn't expect at all. Like she felt like, we are a part of the family, and it was so good of her to get me all of these things. And she also offered to take me to a dinner last night, and she took me to a dinner, which was so good. So we went to a Thai restaurant, and we had like some amazing Thai food. So it was good last day. Um, so yeah, my birthday, I turned 41 this year. Unbelievable, glorious 41 years of life, in which like 35 years in India, 6 years in New Zealand, a couple of months in Melbourne. I've got like a lot of stories to tell through my life. For me, my birthdays are generally like quiet. I am not someone like who I have my birthdays available in most of my social media, and I probably am not like active on social media that much as well, whereas I should be. मेरे नौकरी के लिए तो मैं सोशल मीडिया में हमेशा बेटर रहता हूँ, because I am a social media manager. If I want to or don't want to, I don't know. But my personal social media life is like really really sort of like stagnant. हम लोग थोड़ा थोड़ा मतलब बूमर जनरेशन से हैं, आई वुड से, कि पहले फेसबुक बहुत इस्तेमाल करते थे। उसके पहले तो ऑर्कुट था। ऑर्कुट वाज द फर्स्ट एवर लाइक एंट्री पॉइंट इनटू लाइक द सोशल मीडिया लाइफ, and then that transition into Facebook. For a long period of time, I've generally used Facebook to mobilize volunteers across India. जब हम लोग volunteering करते थे, if we wanted to like bring in new volunteers, talk to them about the projects that we do. Facebook was the basically used tool to reach out. And 2015 में जब चेन्नई में फ्लड हुआ था, उस टाइम पे वी कंडक्टेड अ मेजर लाइक रिलीफ स्लैश disaster management exercise, जिस समय पे I was coordinating a large scale initiative. उसके पूरा mobilization volunteer से लेके material से लेके लोगों को, मतलब जो भी हाल हो रहा था चेन्नई में, we wanted to share all of those information through Facebook, and it was like a really really big tool. And through that, like a lot of people got to know about our work. In fact, उस समय पे I still remember like one of our work was actually shared on this Facebook page called Bahubali the movie. So Bahubali movie crew somewhere got to know about our work, and they actually took a photo that was shared on our NGO's page, and then shared it in their page, which got us like a lot of publicity. And then in one instance, I actually happened to meet director Rajamouli, and he acknowledged the fact that he remembers that Aid India did like such a great work, and it was like a really good opportunity to meet and talk to him. तो मैं ये क्यों बता रहा हूँ, because like I'm not like very active on Facebook and Instagram as much as I should be, but I think that going forward, to be able to connect more with all of you, to be able to listen from all of you, I'm slowly planning to start my time, or like start my pages and start appearing more on like social media channels, so that we all can interact, meet, talk to each other as much as possible. So yeah, at any point of time, like आप लोगों को कुछ feedback हो, या आप लोगों को कुछ मेरे से बताना हो, तो ज़रूर आप लोग यहाँ पे आके comment section पे छोड़ सकते हैं, या तो आप लोगों के पास ये भी option है कि आप indialivepresenters@gmail.com पे email भी कर सकते हैं. So yeah, next week I'll be back in Christchurch, and I will start to actually do shows from Christchurch, and let us see how we are going with the show, if we can pick up some sort of like interesting topics as we go, etc. And in this week's news, or like things that are happening around the world that I've been like trying to follow, I want to share what I feel and think about all of these with you folks. One thing that's really disturbing is the war that's currently happening between Israel and Gaza. um, I won't say it's a war between Israel and Gaza. It's typically or basically a war between Israel and Hamas, the group of terrorists. And Hamas, the group of terrorists, has been guiding in Gaza. And Gaza Strip is actually being bombed by Israel. I am not in support of like any terrorist group or organizations here for the fact. Um, on the same hand, whatever Israel is doing is also something that I won't endorse. Um, Personally, for me, Israel has been like suppressing Palestine for a long time, and politically, I think I take a stand in support of like the Palestinian, the people of Palestinians. For that matter, I also don't encourage the action of Hamas terrorists. Abducting people and children from Israel. And after they have done that, whatever Israel is doing back in the name of like attacking Hamas is actually bombing civilians in Gaza, and so many people are like losing their lives. These thoughts quite disturb me a lot. Like हम लोग मतलब एक दूसरे से प्यार करना चाहिए, हम लोग एक दूसरे को प्रोटेक्ट करना चाहिए, हम लोग एक दूसरे से मदद लेना और देना चाहिए, मगर हम लोग लड़ रहे हैं आपस में. There's like a lot of fight happening on like so many different grounds and ideologies. See, I think religion and all are like okay, but all the religion do encourage and educate or create awareness among practicing kindness or like being more humans. जब हम लोग वो छोड़ देते हैं और हम लोग इंसानियत को भूल जाते हैं, तो I somehow like feel disturbed. I somehow like start to question the ideology or the thought process behind like why people behave and react in certain way. So that way, this has been like a really disturbing news. I really want to record my thoughts and prayers here. Stating that I pray for the betterment of people. I pray for the lives that are lost during this war. I pray that the war comes to an end soon. I pray that people will be able to live a peaceful life like you and me and like anyone else. Like it's a right for everyone to have that sort of like an environment where they can, you know, breathe easily, have access to food, have a shelter, and remain peacefully. um, After that, the other thing that are happening in the world currently is the buzz around the World Cup. And interestingly, we also got a recent news from the International Olympic Committee saying that cricket will be included as a T20 format in the 2028 Olympics. I share a very personal connection with the Olympics. I'll tell you why. I am a staunch follower of the Olympics, and particularly athletics. I've been following for a like long time now, and I really wanted to be a part of the Olympics somewhere in my career. So what I did last year or like the year before in 2020 was I applied to become a volunteer in Tokyo Olympics 2020, and I got selected to volunteer for the Olympics. But then what happened was, unfortunately, you all know COVID came, and because of COVID, Japan actually issued a ban of international volunteers as well as like the travelers arriving into Japan. Due to that, I couldn't make a trip or like, you know, go to the Olympics. So what happens in the Olympics if you're volunteering? Interestingly, they don't provide you the cost to travel to the country. They don't provide you accommodation, and you have to take care of all of those things under your own expenses. The moment you land there, what they give is to offer you a meal when you're actually participating in the event, and probably also give you a local transport or a travel pass which you can use to go in the local public transport from here and there. So now I have applied to volunteer in 2024 Olympics that's going to happen in Paris. It's a wonderful city. I love Paris. I also would like to say I can call Paris as my second home because I have a family friend there, and her parents always invite me to their place whenever I am in Paris. So I have a place where I can stay for free, and that's a big boon in a country like France and in a city like Paris, where you pretty much spend a lot if you want to stay in a hotel or in an Airbnb, or for that matter, even in a hostel, right? You can't get a room for less than 20 euros a night anyway. So I'm going to save a lot of money in case if I'm selected to volunteer at the Paris Olympics. So yeah, speaking of Paris Olympics, 2028 Olympics is scheduled to happen in Los Angeles, and then they announced that the T20 format cricket will be introduced to that. Why I'm happy? Because India is like really, really good in cricket, and we stand a chance of winning an Olympic medal in cricket in 2028. Will we have like players like Rohit Sharma for the likes of Virat Kohli playing in 2028 Olympics? I'm not sure because they will be quite a bit old by then, in their late 30s, early 40s, if I'm not wrong. But I'm pretty sure that, like, there are going to be like youngsters who would step up, the likes of Shubman Gill, and the likes of Ishan Kishan and others would step up, and then would bring some accolades back to India. I think we are also like really having a good and strong team in the women cricket. So there is a possibility that we get some couple of medals in the cricket tournament, and we'll see how that goes. And the 2032 Olympics is scheduled to happen in Brisbane as well, so we'll have some more medal prospects there. And World Cup, of course, the most expected dhamakedar match between India and Pakistan happened in the Narendra Modi Cricket Stadium, the world's largest cricket stadium in, where India and Pakistan met. The match was pretty much kind of like one-sided for me, but somewhere that was an expected thing, with such a huge crowd, India having home advantage, a strong team, great bowling, great batting, and Pakistan has so far never bet us in a World Cup, ICC World Cup cricket match. So 7-0 record India has. So 7-0 went to 8-0. So quite anticipated results. But a few disturbing facts from the event was, kind of like, I did hear and read in news, also on Twitter, that um, some of these spectators provoked the players. I'm not sure on what grounds though. So in a sporting environment, it is recommended that you don't bring in like any differences, and sports generally should unite people. I'm pretty sure that like all of us spectators would have the responsibility of watching the sports, and appreciating everybody's efforts, and appreciating players who are there to entertain us, who are there to show us their skills, who are there to express the same sort of like sportsmanship that they would express on other matches, or for that matter in other occasions or like venues too. तो उस मामले में I think the match was so entertaining for everyone who were there. ये लोग बोलते हैं ना, पैसा वसूल लायक मैच था, और इंडिया पाकिस्तान से फिर से जीत गया, एंड हम लोग टेबल टॉपर भी बन गए. तो विच मीन्स हम लोगों के लिए एक अच्छा मौका है कि सेमीफाइनल्स तक पहुंचने में, एंड देन सेमीफाइनल में भी हम लोग अच्छे परफॉर्म किए तो हम लोग फाइनल्स पे भी पहुंचेंगे, एंड फाइनल्स पे भी हमारा इस बार मौका ज़्यादा है, होम ग्राउंड का एडवांटेज है, people are in very good form. It's so good to see the top four performing, in a brilliant way, and I'm pretty sure that we'll probably get another World Cup. This would be the third if India gets it right. So yeah. Interestingly, folks, I was actually able to talk to you just normally, like as I am talking to anyone else for 30 long minutes without any content being prepared. That says that going forward in the show, you can expect me to bring like more personal experience, personalized thoughts and opinions, what I felt that week, etc., and share those with you. You are watching Trendy Thalaiva with Selva, on India Live, where colors come alive. As usual, please feel free to let us know your thoughts and opinions. Like this show, share it with your friends, and post your comments in the comment section. And if you want us to do something, if you want us to talk about something, please do write to us. And our email ID, which I and all other like presenters would read, is indialivepresenters@gmail.com. I will again see you all next week, same time. Until then, signing off is Trendy Thalaiva Selva.